What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. We're Generation Pips with another weekly Forex analysis video. I'm Eli. Grab your coffee. Let's go ahead and hit these charts. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is look at Great Britain Pound CHF. This is going to be an update of the trade that we talked about last week. On a daily time frame, we saw that price was in consolidation. We have resistance at the top, support at the bottom. Price tapped back into the support. I'm going to go down to the 4-hour where we had our entry. We had this bullish engulfing candle. Put a pending order down here to make this a 55 pip stop loss with a 165 pip take profit. We are currently almost about 20 pips away from take profit. So this is looking good. This is going to be Great Britain Pound CHF update. All right, so the first pair we're going to talk about this week is going to be Euro CHF. We covered this a little bit last week. We talked about how price hit this support here 3 times. And then we also drew this in that price was in somewhat of a wedge that was falling to the downside and wait for price to break out, right? So let's go down to the daily time frame to get a better look of that breakout. So here on the daily time frame, we zoom out some, we can see that price had this downtrend. We had this most recent resistance where price shot down, came back in again, it's shot back down. Now we officially broke free from that. So what I'll be waiting for is for price this week to make a pullback on the 4-hour time frame and give us an entry back up into this daily high over here around the 95,700 area. And that's going to be Euro CHF. The next pair we have to cover is going to be Euro Great Britain Pound on the weekly time frame. We see that price came down into this support area, yet again tapped into it and made bullish action to the upside. With that, we can also see that price is in this channel on the way to the downside, right? So let's go down to the daily time frame to see what price is actually doing on a smaller time frame. So price is still in that channel, as we can see that with those blue trend lines here, but we also can see that price tapped back into this resistance area right here, right? And it started to make some push to the downside. What I want to do is go on the 4-hour time frame and see if there's an opportunity for price to potentially pull back into this area here and then potentially continue that short opportunity back down to the downside. And that's going to be Euro Great Britain Pound going into this week. All right, so now we're going to transition over to a couple of dollar pairs. The first is going to be NZD USD on a weekly time frame. We can see that price had this support once, twice, and it just tapped into that support again for the 3rd time on a weekly time frame. So I am looking for any potential bullish opportunities back to the upside. Going down to the daily time frame, we can see that price was in this nice downtrend here, and we broke through this most recent swing high. So what I'd like to see is price pull back here into this area on the 4-hour time frame and take a position back up to this daily high. And that's going to be the look for NZD USD going into this week. And for our next dollar pair, we got AUD USD. We can also see very similar price action. Price tapped into that weekly bottom and we had a fake out to the downside, right? So we're going to look to see if price can make its way back up potentially long term to this weekly level of resistance, as we can see that price is in somewhat of a range, right? All right, so drop down to the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, very similar to the last pair, we had a nice downtrend and this last most recent high that we broke up from. So I want to see if price with that breakout can come back into this area on the 4-hour time frame, give us a nice engulfing, bullish engulfing morning star, some type of candle formation that shows that buyers are still present in the market. We'll take a nice buy position back up to this 6,900 area. And that's going to be AUD USD. All right, for those of you guys that made it this far, this is the last pair of the week, which is going to be AUD CAD on the weekly time frame. We can see that price came in here and it had resistance, shot to the downside, resistance. Same thing with support, pushed up, pushed up. So price is in a sideways range between resistance and support. What we have here is we identified the last weekly low, which price tapped into and started having a lot of bullish momentum. So we want to drill into the daily time frame to get a closer look at that. And so on the daily time frame, we can see that price had this daily support, but we also see that price was in this daily downtrend wedge here. All right, and then price broke through of this last recent high. So what I'll be waiting for is for price to pull back on the 4-hour time frame to give us an entry that comes all the way back up until this 92,500 area. So that's going to be all that we have going into this week. Thank you guys for tuning into this week's analysis video. And for more content, follow us on Instagram. That's going to be @GenerationPips. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button if you really enjoyed this video. And drop your comments below if you guys want to see something else, maybe that we didn't cover this video. Stay tuned for next week's analysis. And as always, happy trading.